In a world that just never stops talking, what if the most powerful person in the room was actually the quietest one? Today, we're digging into a pretty radical idea: how to become what's called a silent specialist, someone who can command total respect without ever having to say a word.
Okay, I can almost hear you thinking it. In a world of back-to-back meetings and constant brainstorming, isn't being silent just a weakness? But what if we've been looking at this completely backward? What if using silence strategically could be your secret weapon, the thing that makes every single thing you do say or do carry so much more weight?
So, who exactly is this silent specialist? Look, this isn't about being shy or tuned out. It's the exact opposite. Think of a professional who treats silence like a tool, like a filter. They use it to block out all the noise so that when they do communicate, it's deliberate, it's polished, and it's super high quality. And here's the core principle, the thing that kind of flips the script. The silent specialist lets their visual presence do all the heavy lifting. I mean, really, think about that for a second. Your posture, your facial expressions, that focused look in your eye, all of these become your main tools. They show you're competent and engaged way before you even open your mouth. Okay, to really get a feel for this, let's walk through what we're calling a blueprint day. We're going to follow our silent specialist from the morning, which is all about quiet observation, to the middle of the day for some deep processing, and then finally into the afternoon where it's all about high-impact nonverbal output. So first up, the morning. All right, so the day kicks off with the input phase, and the goal here is super simple. Don't contribute, just absorb. Seriously, you're basically a sponge. You're soaking up the rhythms of the office, the patterns, all those unspoken rules. This is your data gathering time. Now, this morning routine, it's built on two really simple but powerful steps. First, you've got an audio warm-up to just soak in the language of your industry. And second, there's the visual greeting, which is all about establishing your presence without saying anything at all. Let's get into the details here. That audio warm-up, it's not about studying hard. It's about passive listening, just getting the rhythm and flow of office speak into your brain. And the visual greeting? Oh, it's a masterclass in being efficient. A simple nod, a small smile. That says everything, right? It says, I'm here, I'm paying attention, and I'm ready to go. Okay, moving on to the middle of the day. This is the process phase, and honestly, this is where the magic really happens. All that raw info you soaked up in the morning, now it's time to structure it, synthesize it, and turn it into something genuinely useful. So the midday routine is all about working smarter. First, you let technology do the heavy lifting when it comes to processing information, and then you take back your focus with a silent lunch. And this is so important. It's about protecting your mental energy for the important work coming up later. And this is where the strategy gets really smart. Instead of sitting there for hours trying to remember what was said in a meeting, you just get it transcribed by an AI service. Then you take that text and pop it into a personal AI tool that can break it all down for you. You're basically giving yourself a silent partner to do the grunt work. But here's the real key. It's all about how you ask. You're not just saying, hey, give me a summary. You're giving the AI a super specific, actionable job. A prompt like the one you see here, it takes a huge mess of raw data and turns it into a clean, professional email that's ready to go. Now that is peak efficiency. All right, so we've gathered the info, we've processed it, and now it's time for the grand finale, the output phase. This is where we deliver our work and really make an impact, proving once and for all that you don't need a loud voice to make a powerful contribution. So the afternoon is all about a two-part delivery. First, a video synthesis, which is a really modern, engaging way to share what you've done. And then you follow it up with a sharp, powerful digital sign-off that just perfectly wraps up your work for the day. The main thing to remember here is quality, not quantity. That 60-second video update, it uses an AI avatar to keep things looking consistent and professional. But, and this is maybe even more important, think about that final digital message. Since you've been quiet all day, those few written words you post on Slack, they carry a ton of weight. They have to be bold, to the point, and, completely error-free. So, okay, that's the daily blueprints, but what about all the stuff that just pops up during the day? The random questions, the quick check-ins. Well, that's where your nonverbal toolkit comes into play. These are your go-to silent strategies for handling everyday office stuff with total confidence. Let's get practical for a second.
In a brainstorming session, instead of talking, you're at the whiteboard drawing diagrams. An urgent question comes your way, you've got pre-written quick replies ready to go on your laptop. Need to give feedback? A quick thumbs up emoji in the chat or a deliberate "I hear you" nod in person can actually say more than a whole sentence. But out of all the tools in this whole kit, this next one, this might just be the most important of all. It's the active listener face. It's that subtle mix of cues, a slight head tilt, a slow nod here and there, raising your eyebrows when someone makes a key point. It signals deep focus and intelligence, and you haven't said a thing. Seriously, mastering this is a game changer. There's this quote from the material that just nails it. In a silent route, your face becomes your most important interface. I mean, think about that. When you go the nonverbal route, your face isn't just your face anymore. It's the main screen your coworkers are looking at to read your engagement, your intelligence, even your respect for them. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. In a professional world that just keeps getting louder and louder, could using silence strategically be the one thing that actually makes you stand out? What's your quiet advantage going to be?